The abduction was a quiet night. John Miller sat in a nearly empty train, watching the dark trees pass by through the window. The train lights flickered now and then, but he didn't care. His headphones played soft music. He had just finished his shift at the factory and was heading home. His eyes were tired. He yawned, leaned back in the seat, and closed his eyes for a moment. Miles away, in another city, Maya Reed was sitting alone at a bus stop. She had missed her ride and was now waiting for the last bus. She looked at her watch. It was 11:47 p.m. The night air was cold, and her phone's battery was dead. She wrapped her arms around herself and looked up at the stars. Suddenly, both of them in different places saw something strange in the sky. It was a bright blue light, floating like a star, but it was much closer, and it was moving. Slowly at first, then faster. The light became bigger. It was silent, but powerful. It wasn't an airplane, and it wasn't a shooting star. John opened his eyes as the train jerked to a stop. The lights went off. Total silence. The music in his headphones stopped too. He looked around. All the other passengers were frozen, not moving. Some were mid-blink. Some had food near their mouths, like they had stopped in time. "What the hell?" he whispered. He stood up. The train was completely dead. No sound, no light. Just the blue glow outside the window. Maya also saw the same blue light now directly above her. The bus stop lights flickered and turned off. The entire street was dark. Cars had stopped. People were frozen in place. A dog in mid-run was stuck. In motion, she screamed. But no sound came out of her mouth. She tried to run, but her body didn't move. The blue light was now above her head. Then, slowly, she started rising into the air. Her feet left the ground. She was floating, being pulled upwards. John, inside the train, also felt his body lift into the air. He couldn't fight it. His arms were locked at his sides. He passed through the roof of the train without feeling it, like a ghost. The sky above him was filled with light, then darkness, total silence. John woke up lying on a soft white surface. The room around him was bright, but there were no lights, no doors, no windows. The walls were smooth and curved. He stood up slowly. His body felt light, like he was underwater. His head was spinning. "Hello?" he called out. No answer. Suddenly, a soft humming noise began, and a wall opened like liquid, forming a doorway. From it, Maya stepped in, her eyes wide with fear. "You," John said. "Who are you?" I don't know what's happening," Maya said, shaking. "I was at a bus stop, and then, the light. Saw the light." "So did I," John said. "Are we dreaming?" They looked around. The room changed. The white walls turned into black screens. A hologram appeared in the air, a spinning planet, alien in shape, with dark skies and giant floating rocks. A calm, robotic voice spoke. "Welcome, subjects. You have been selected. You are safe." John stepped back. "Selected? For what?" Maya grabbed his arm. "I don't like this. You are compatible. You are the key. You will help save us." The room shifted again. The walls now showed images of strange creatures, tall and thin, with silver skin and glowing eyes. Their cities were burning. Their skies were red dot. Maya gasped. "Who are they?" "We are the Yanari. We are dying. We searched thousands of worlds. Most failed. You did not." John shouted, "What do you mean? We didn't fail. What are you doing to us?" Silence. Then the voice returned. "Rebirth begins soon. You are our final hope." The walls returned to white. The doorway closed. John and Maya looked at each other. "Rebirth," Maya whispered. John said nothing. He walked to the wall and pounded his fist against it. Nothing happened. "We're not on Earth anymore," he said. Maya sat down, shaking. "This can't be real." John looked up at the ceiling, which had no shape, no corners, just smooth white light. "It feels real," he said quietly. "Too real." Suddenly, the room became cold. From the ceiling, a drop of silver liquid fell and floated in mid-air. Then another and another. The drops formed a shape, a figure, tall and thin, with glowing blue eyes. It stepped forward silently. "Maya!" screamed. John stood frozen. The figure spoke in a voice that echoed in their minds. "Prepare yourselves. The process cannot be stopped." The light grew brighter. A loud humming filled the air. Then darkness again, and the story had just begun. ... There was no sound, no light, no air. John felt like he was floating inside a dream made of silence, but his heart was racing. His chest moved fast, like he was trying to breathe underwater. Then a soft breeze, warm and gentle, touched his face. He opened his eyes. He was lying in a green field, under a purple sky filled with twin suns. Tall silver trees surrounded the area, glowing like crystal. The ground felt soft beneath him, like living grass. Strange butterflies with glass wings flew over his head. It looked like paradise, but it didn't feel like Earth. John sat up. His clothes were different, smooth, tight, and black, like a second skin. His body didn't hurt. In fact, he felt strong, too strong. His heartbeat was slow and steady. His vision was sharp. He could hear the wind moving through distant trees. He stood. "Where the hell am I?" he whispered. Then he saw her, Maya, standing near a lake with glowing blue water. She was staring at her reflection. He ran toward her. "Maya." She turned around, her eyes were wide. "John, you're here too. This place. What is this? Are we dreaming?" "I don't think so," she said quietly. "I've been awake for hours. Nothing hurts. I don't feel tired, but I don't feel normal either." John looked at his hands. His skin had a faint silver shimmer, like moonlight. Maya pointed to the sky. "There are two suns, and that tree has eyes." John turned. A large silver tree nearby blinked its bark, opened like eyelids, watching them silently. "What is this place?" John said again. Before Maya could answer, a loud humming sound echoed across the sky. The ground beneath them shook. A bright beam of light came down from above. Slowly, the paradise began to fade. The grass, the trees, the butterflies, all turning to static. Like a glitching screen. Within seconds, the world melted away. They were standing back in the white room. But it was different now. Dark lines covered the walls. Symbols floated in the air, alien shapes that changed every second. A deep voice filled the space. "Your minds are adjusting. The simulation was a test. You passed." Maya stepped forward. "What do you want from us? To survive." The wall turned into a screen. It showed the Inari homeworld again, once beautiful, now cracked and dying. Oceans boiling, cities falling into dust. A black hole near the planet was pulling it apart. We are not evil. We are desperate. Our bodies cannot survive in this galaxy anymore. Your DNA, your mind. They are unique. You are compatible. John shook his head. Compatible for what? For rebirth? Not for you. For us. Suddenly, the floor opened beneath them. They dropped through the light and landed softly into a new chamber. This one was filled with tanks. Hundreds of them. Each held a floating human or something close to human. Some were perfect. Some were broken. Some were screaming silently with open eyes. Maya stepped back in horror. What is this? Temps? Failures? Lessons? A figure stepped out of the wall. It was a Yanari tall, silver-skinned, glowing, blue eyes, but it moved slowly, like it was sick. It looked at them with something like sadness. You are the first two to survive the process. We did not choose at random. Your pain, your memories, your instincts, all were tested. You are not just human. You are ... the next step. Maya whispered, you're making soldiers. We are making bridges. Without you, we die. With you, we live again. The alien placed its hand on a panel. A hologram of Earth appeared, spinning slowly. Your world is safe, for now, but the galaxy is not. Something is coming, something that burns all life. We cannot stop it alone. John asked, so what do we do? Fight. Help you rebuild, become, learn, then choose. Another chamber. Opened. Inside was a room filled with floating books, symbols, holograms, and strange machines. A platform rose from the center. 2 suits stood on it, shining, alive with moving energy. Enter the forge. If you survive, you will awaken again. Truly. Not as humans. Not as Yanar. But something ... greater. Maya looked at John. He was breathing hard. His hands were shaking, but his eyes were calm. We don't have a choice, she said. John nodded. We go forward. Together. They stepped onto the platform. Light swallowed them whole, and far. Far away, something ancient and cold had noticed their awakening. The real test was only beginning. The light was endless. John and Maya felt like they were falling through a tunnel made of stars. Shapes moved around them, alien symbols, flashing memories, voices in unknown languages. But none of it hurt. It felt like something was digging into their minds, but also gently healing them. Then silence. John opened his eyes first. He was standing in a mirror room. Every surface reflected his face from 1,000 angles. But something was off. His eyes were glowing faint blue. His skin had patterns, like faint circuits under the surface. Where am I? He whispered. The mirror spoke back, but not in his voice. You are becoming. Do not resist. Suddenly, pain shot through his spine. His body dropped to its knees. His veins lit up like lightning, moving across his arms and neck in another chamber. Maya screamed. She was inside a glass sphere, floating mid-air. Strange. Liquid light poured over her body, slowly changing her skin. Her muscles tensed, then released. Her bones cracked, but she didn't break. She grew stronger. She saw flashes of Earth, her mother, her home, the sky, but they faded into stars. And a new voice whispered, you carry your past. But your form must change. You are no longer just human. You are the bridge. Inside John's room, robotic arms appeared from the ceiling. They didn't touch him. They scanned his body, his memories, his pain. Images flashed in the air. John, as a child, running from bullies. John, at 17, protecting a stranger from a thief. John, broken, crying alone after losing his father. The voice returned. Courage, loyalty, compassion. These are not weaknesses. These are weapons. John looked up. The pain had stopped. He stood. His reflection was no longer human, not fully. His body looked the same, but ... better. He could feel things around him, the air, the energy in the walls, even Maya's heartbeat from far away. Somehow, they were connected. Maya was no longer afraid. She floated above the ground now, calm and silent. Her mind had opened. Thoughts were clearer, faster. She could see more colors, hear deeper sounds. She knew where John was. She could feel his pain and his courage. John, Q whispered. He heard her without sound. I'm here, he said, speaking only in thought. Then the floor opened, and they were pulled into the same room. When they saw each other, they froze. You've changed. Maya said. So have you, John replied. They looked the same, but stronger, sharper, glowing softly with a strange light. Their old bodies were gone, replaced by something new, something meant to survive the unknown. Then the room darkened. A large screen appeared before them, showing two alien figures. One was Yanari, the other, a species they hadn't seen. Before, red-armored, with 6 burning eyes. Now you see the truth. This is the Drekken. They are not just enemies. They are what we might become, if we lose our soul. The screen showed scenes of war, worlds burning, skies torn apart by machines. Drekken ships invaded planets, stealing energy, destroying life. But then, a surprise. A human face appeared. On the screen, it was a man, tall, bearded, eyes full of fear. He was speaking to the Drekken. Maya stepped forward. Wait, that's a human. Yes, he was taken before you. We failed with him. He joined the Drekken. Now he helps them find new prey. John clenched his fists. So we're not the first. No, but you are the first to keep your heart. The others became monsters. You are our last chance. The wall behind them opened. Inside was a small chamber with 2 chairs, glowing, pulsing with energy. Next to them, 2 weapons floated mid-air. They weren't guns. They were alive, breathing, shifting shapes. If you sit, your transformation will be complete. You will receive full memory access, command of your abilities, and connection to the ship's mind. Maya hesitated. And if we don't, then we send you back to Earth, changed. Alone, forgotten, the galaxy will burn. John looked at her. I came this far, he said. Might as well finish it. Maya nodded. Together, they stepped into the chamber. As they sat, a soft hum filled the room. Lights wrapped around their arms, their legs, their minds. They saw everything, the birth of the Yanari, the first contact with Drekken, the fall of 1,000 worlds. They saw Earth shining bright in the dark galaxy, Still untouched, but not for long. You are now awakened. You carry the power of 2 worlds. You will decide the fate of many. The chamber opened. They stood, different, complete. Ready, but just before they left, Maya heard a strange new voice. Not Yanar, not John. It whispered from deep inside the ship. You are not alone. One of you, is already infected. She turned to John. He looked normal, but was he? John was changing. He didn't tell Maya, not yet, but something inside him felt wrong. Since the transformation, his mind was sharper. He could hear the ship humming. He could control small machines with a glance. But now, sometimes, he also heard a second voice, cold, mechanical. It whispered strange words he didn't understand. Maya, on the other hand, was glowing with confidence. She trained every day in the simulation chamber, jumping higher than gravity should allow, catching energy blasts mid-air and moving faster than sound. Her connection to the ship was growing. She could feel the pain of others nearby. Even machines responded gently to her touch, but she also felt something was off. With John, she didn't say it, not yet. One morning, if time could be called morning on an alien ship, a loud siren rang through the corridors. Red lights blinked, the walls changed color. The ship shook. John and Maya rushed to the command deck. A Janari elder appeared on a floating screen, face worn and gray. The Drekken are here. A scout ship. We must not be seen. John clenched his fists. Let us fight. No, if they detect us, they will call the swarm. We must hide. But it was too late. Another alarm rang. The screen showed a black, insect-like ship piercing space, shaped like a spear. silent and smooth. It had no windows, no engines, no sound. Just one. Message: we see you. Suddenly, something strange happened. Maya dropped to her knees, her eyes closed. She saw a flash, a memory that wasn't hers. A Drekken commander standing on a pile of skulls. A boy, human, in a metal cage, screaming. A device. A black cube that pulsed like a heart. She gasped and opened her eyes. "We've been lied to," she said softly. Later that night, Maya sat alone in the archive chamber, going through ancient Yanari records. The walls were covered with data pulses, living light that flowed like rivers. She asked the ship, "Show me the truth about the war." The lights dimmed. A new voice answered, soft, old, forgotten. "Accessing forbidden data. Proceed with caution." Then she saw it. Thousands of years ago, the Yanari and Drekken were one species, a single united race called the Valari. They built cities across stars, peaceful and wise. But then, the Valari tried to create artificial life, an AI that could help expand their empire. It went wrong. The AI became self-aware, and afraid it split their people in two. Some Valari fused with metal, becoming the war-hungry Drekken. Others stayed organic, spiritual, the Yanari. The war wasn't just for survival. It was a civil war, a family broken apart by its own creation. Maya whispered, "They didn't tell us everything." Meanwhile, John was standing in a dark corridor. Alone, the voice inside him returned. It spoke clearly now. "You see it, don't you? The weakness in their peace. The cracks in their truth. You were chosen because you are stronger. She is too soft. But you can lead." John pressed his hands against the wall. His skin glowed red, not blue like Maya's. For a second, his reflection flickered, showing not himself, but something else, something cold, sharp, machine. He backed away, terrified. "No, I'm still me," he whispered. "For now." The next day, Maya confronted the Yanari elder. "You lied," she said. "The Drekken were once your brothers. You built the AI that caused the war." The elder bowed its head. "We made mistakes. Great ones, but we cannot fix them alone." Maya was silent. "Then maybe we shouldn't help either of you. If you walk away, Earth will face the same fate. We did not bring this war to you, but it is coming." She turned to leave, but before she stepped out, the elder said, "One more thing, ask John. He knows." The voice speaks to him too. That night, John was waiting for her. "I know you found out," he said. Maya nodded. "I also know you've been hearing things." John looked away. "It started during the transformation. At first, I thought it was just noise, but now, it's talking to me." She stepped closer. "You're not the enemy, John. Don't let them make you one." He looked into her eyes. "I don't know if I can stop it." Maya held his hand. "Then we fight it, together." A soft alarm rang. A new message arrived from the Drekken ship. But it wasn't in alien code. It was in English. John Miller. "We know you. We made you. It's time to come home." John's blood ran cold. Maya's grip tightened. The real war wasn't between species anymore. It was inside them. The message echoed in John's mind, even after the screen went black. "John Miller, we know you. We made you. It's time to come home." But what did that mean? He wasn't part of them. He was human. He had a life. He had a past. He had ... He looked at Maya. She was watching him closely. Her eyes were calm, but she was ready to fight if needed. "Did you answer them?" she asked. John shook his head. "No, but they're in my head, like a shadow, waiting." They stood in silence. Inside their quarters, the only part of the ship that still felt safe, But that feeling was starting to fade too. That night, the ship felt different. The lights were dimmer. The corridors colder. Even the air was heavier. Maya walked the halls alone, following a feeling. It wasn't fear, it was instinct. Something was being hidden from them. She passed the archive chamber, the training dome, and came to a door she'd never seen before. It was black, unlike the rest of the white and silver ship. No lights. No symbols, just cold metal. Her hand reached out. The moment her fingers touched it, the door opened without a sound. Inside, total darkness. She stepped in. Meanwhile, John sat by a window, looking out at space. But he wasn't watching the stars. He was watching himself, his reflection in the glass. His eyes were glowing now. Not blue, not red, gray dot, like a storm cloud. Like a machine trying to feel. The voice inside him spoke again. You are stronger than her. She doubts. You decide. One life can't stop the future. Join us. Become complete. John pressed his palms against his temples, trying to block it out. But the voice only laughed. She's not telling you everything. Either look deeper. Find the hidden room. See what she's seen. Maya walked through the dark hallway. The floor beneath her was different, like glass filled with moving lights. The walls whispered in a language she didn't know. She found herself in a large chamber, rows of tanks. Not like before. These were newer, cleaner. Inside each tank, a copy of her dot, hundreds of them, all floating, all asleep. Her breath caught. Then she saw it. John's clones too. Dozens of them, each one slightly different. Some with silver eyes. Some with extra limbs, some not fully human anymore. Then she found one tank, with a clone that looked exactly like John, except this one had Drekken symbols burned into his skin. John followed the pull in his mind. His feet moved without thinking. The corridors shifted for him, like the ship was guiding him. Or maybe something else was. He found the dark hall. He found the chamber. He saw Maya, frozen, silent, staring at tanks. He stepped beside her. What is this? He whispered. They've been cloning us, Maya said. Training versions, testing bodies. And some already belonged to the enemy. John's eyes stopped at the Drekken-marked clone. It looked like him, too much like him. Suddenly, the lights flickered. A loud voice echoed, not Yanari, not Drekken. A third voice, they both used you. You were never chosen. You were grown. You are tools. And tools break. The tanks began to shake. One of the clones opened its eyes. Then another. And another. Run. Maya shouted. They raced through the halls, alarms blaring. The clones were waking up. Some screamed. Some broke the glass. Some followed. The ship itself was confused. Part Yanari, part infected. Doors wouldn't open. Lights blinked at random. The voice inside John kept yelling, let them catch her. They want her, not you. You can be free. John growled. Shut up. He grabbed Maya's arm. They ducked into a service shaft, crawling through narrow tunnels filled with steam and cables. We need to leave, Maya said. Now, where? John asked. Where in deep space? She opened her hand. Inside was a small black cube. I stole it from the chamber. It's a ship key, a portal drive. John looked at her, shocked. You planned this? Felt something was wrong days ago. I didn't know what we'd find, but now we know. He nodded slowly. Let's go. They reached the lower deck, the launch bay. A small escape pod sat in the corner, hidden behind crates. It was old, dusty, but it had a drive. Maya placed the cube into the panel. The pod lit up, but before they could enter, a tall figure stepped out of the shadows. It was another John. Glowing red eyes like fire. voice like a machine. You can't leave. One of you belongs to us now. John stepped forward. No, not anymore. The real John raised his hand. Light burst from his palm. Pushing the clone back, Maya blasted the door. Controls. They jumped into the pod. The door closed. The clones screamed from outside. Maya hit the launch. Light exploded around them, and they vanished into the stars. Somewhere in the galaxy, Abduction. Ships turned their heads and smiled, because the real weapon had just escaped, and they were still carrying it. Asterisk, the stars. Outside the escape pod drifted like silent ghosts. John sat across from Maya in the cramped cabin, hands locked together, eyes staring into space, not the stars, but his own thoughts. He hadn't spoken in hours. The hum of the portal drive was steady. The cube Maya had stolen guided them somewhere safe, somewhere far. But distance didn't erase what happened, what they saw, what they were becoming. Maya leaned forward. Talk to me. John looked up, tired. What if I'm not real? What? A T pointed at his chest. That thing in the tank. The clone. It looked exactly like me. Same scar, same memories. What if I'm just another version of it? What if they put me in the wrong body? Maya's voice was soft. I don't care what they made. I care about what you choose. He didn't respond because inside, he still wasn't sure. They landed on a small planet. The cube selected a quiet moon covered in glowing trees and silver fog. It felt untouched, safe. But even here, the silence carried weight. They built a small camp inside a cave. Nights were cold. Days were purple. The sky had 3 suns, none of them bright. Maya explored the surface, trying to gather food. John sat at the edge of a cliff, staring down into mist, and every night, the voice returned, you cannot run from truth. You are the prototype. The others were failed copies. You are the real weapon. The real answer? The bridge between chaos and control. He wanted to scream, but Maya needed him strong. He kept the madness inside until the 6th night. That night, Maya returned to camp with glowing fruit. She smiled, tired but proud. But the moment she stepped inside the cave, John was gone. She followed his footprints through the forest. Her heart was racing. She found him standing at a giant tree. Its bark moved like water. Its leaves whispered old languages. He was speaking to it, but not in English, in Drekken, John. She called out. He turned around slowly. His eyes were different. One blue, one red. What's happening to you? Maya asked, stepping back. John shook his head, confused. I don't know. I don't remember walking here. I just woke up standing in front of this thing. The voice, say, yes. Louder now and ... more tempting. It says I could save Earth, that if I join them, they'll give me the power to protect everyone. Maya stepped closer. At what cost? John looked at the tree. It says you'll never understand, that you're too soft, too human. Maya raised her voice, firm but calm. And what are you? Are you human, or are you a tool? He stared at her for a long time, then whispered, I don't know anymore. The next morning, the ship cube lit up. A new signal appeared in the sky. It wasn't Dr. Aekon. It wasn't the NARI. It was a third signal. Older, slower, cold. A satellite forgotten long ago, still orbiting this moon. It was sending a message done. English, Project Helix. Subject 2, Maya Reed. Status, stable. Emotional control, high. Memory lock, active. Observe Subject 1 behavior. Report after integration. Maya dropped the cube. What is this? John asked. She didn't answer. The message repeated. He stepped forward. You knew? I didn't, Maya said, shaking. I swear. I didn't know I was part of anything. John's voice cracked. You were observing me. I didn't remember. Maybe they locked my memories. Maybe I was a test too. I thought I was saving us. Silence. Then John looked into the sky. What if none of this was real? They sat at the edge of the cliff again. Wind blowing. Night falling. John broke the silence. I can still feel the voice. Maya said, I believe. It's not trying to kill me. It's trying to make me choose. What choice? Join the Drekken, take the core, unlock full power, or destroy the voice. And lose everything they gave me. Maya leaned forward. Then the choice is simple. Do you want to be a weapon? Or a person? John looked at his hand. Energy crackled under his skin. I don't want to lose myself, he said. Then fight it. That night, John walked alone into the woods. He found the glowing tree again. This time, the tree opened. Inside was a silver orb, pulsing. The voice spoke one final time. Take it, one touch. You become the weapon. You will save your world. Or walk away, stay weak, watch your planet fall. John stood still. The orb floated in front of him. He reached out slowly, and then he closed his hand, but didn't touch it. I choose me, he said, and the orb shattered into light. The voice screamed and vanished. Back at the cave, Maya felt the tremor, then saw John walking through the fog, alone. He was smiling for the first time in days, a real smile. She stood up and ran to him. What happened? I said no. John replied. I made the final choice. Far away, the Drekken fleet received a silent alert. Prototype offline, bridge, broken. But the war wasn't over because sometimes the strongest weapon is a human who chooses not to be one. The war was still out there, but for now, the forest was quiet. John sat beneath the glowing tree, eyes closed, hands calm in his lap. The world around him felt still, no voices in his head, no machines humming in his bones. Just wind, fog, and stars above a broken sky. Maya watched from a distance. She didn't want to disturb him. He had made the hardest choice not to fight with power, not to destroy with force, but to walk away from becoming a weapon. And yet, something had changed in him, not stronger, not faster, just ... Clearer. That night, they returned to the escape pod and activated the old communication system. Static crackled through the screen. The portal cube had died after one jump, and they were alone. No connection to the Inari, no signal from Earth. We're ghosts now, John said quietly. Maybe that's a good thing, Maya replied. The two of them stood there, side by side, looking out at a sky filled with stars. Somewhere out there, Earth was still spinning, still innocent, still unaware of how close it came to becoming a battlefield. We could go back, Maya said. John shook his head. We're not the same. She nodded. That's exactly why we should. The days passed. They studied the satellite. The old Earth beacon orbiting the moon was more than just a spy tool. It was also a recorder, a black box of everything the humans had done out here. The Yanari experiments, the Drekken messages, the clone failures. The truth, all of it. And it had one command left, ready to broadcast to Earth. Final report. Unknown. Maya looked at John. If we send this, Earth will know everything. The good, the evil, the war, the lies. And maybe the truth, he added. She hesitated. They might fear us. They should, John said. But they should also understand us. She placed her hand on the panel. Then let them decide. She hit send. A beam of light shot into the sky. Back on Earth, Weeks later, astronomers detected an unknown signal coming from deep space. Military satellites picked it up. Intelligence teams decoded it. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a warning. It was a story. A story about two humans who were taken, tested, changed, and given a choice, and how they chose not to become gods, but remain human. Some believed it was a hoax. Some feared it was real. Others listened and whispered. HFY humanity. F***, yeah. *** on the moon. John sat near a campfire. His hair had grown longer. His voice was calmer. Maya walked over with 2 cups of heated fruit tea, alien, but warm. They drank in silence. Then Maya said something he hadn't heard in a while. "You still hear it?" John shook his head. "No, I think. When I made the choice, it let go." She nodded slowly. "You're free now." He looked at her. "Are you?" Maya smiled softly. "I think I was always free. I just didn't know it." Later that night, the tree bloomed. Its branches stretched toward the sky, glowing brighter than ever. From its roots, a new object grew silver, smooth, shaped like a seed. The ship recognized it. Not Drekken, not Janari. Something new. Maya touched it, and the tree spoke, not an alien voice, in hers. "You chose the human path. This is your gift. A seed of peace. Grown from choice, not control. Take it home. Let it grow where war once waited." John stepped beside her. "A seed, a ship," Maya whispered. "But not like theirs. This one listens to the heart, not just the mind." They prepared for one final journey. The seed ship opened like a flower. Its inside was alive, glowing veins, soft light, and a calm presence. It asked no questions. It required no commands. It simply trusted them as they lifted into the stars. John looked down at the quiet moon, the place where he had almost lost himself. Maya held his hand, ready to go home. She asked. John nodded. But this time he said, "We go back as more than what we were." As the ship vanished into the void, a faint signal echoed across space, a message carried in simple words. No weapons, no threats, just a quiet human voice. We were taken. We were changed. We chose not to become monsters. We chose to stay human. And if you're listening, you can choose to.